fixing things. I'm fixing things. I'm fixing things. I'm fixing things. I'm gonna sell some guitars, 'cause I never play them. I'm gonna drop some words, 'cause I shouldn't say them. I'm turning off the news, 'cause I don't believe it. I'm fixing things.
Hey, everybody.
I'm fixing things.
Hank Linderman here.
I'm fixing things.
It is Wednesday, October 14th,
Fixing things.
in this crazy damn year 2020.
I'm clearing out my old clothes.
You know me, I'm running for Congress here in Kentucky's 2nd District. We're going to have a wonderful guest here in just a few moments, maybe in about 10 minutes. MacLean Lessenberry is going to be here. But meanwhile, everybody, please share. Let's have a look at the lake. Notice that you can hear some boats. You can hear all kinds of things. The leaves are flying all over the place. It's actually a beautiful day. It's 80 degrees out. I'm going to get to go out on the bicycle, I hope, since I don't get much exercise these days, and I really do need that. So anyway, here we go. Let's see. Cindy Franklin is here. I know Cindy's already saved. There was a sailboat out, by the way, a little bit earlier. That's why I'm kind of leaving things up in case we see that sailboat. But I'll keep my eye on it, and maybe we'll do it. Roy Frazier is here. So glad you're here, Roy, all the way from England. Anyway, Claire is here. Claire Mullen is here. So glad to see you. I can't see right now how many of you are here because my computer is not helping for some reason, but that's okay. Apparently, the word is getting out. Couple things to talk about quickly. This weekend I think on Saturday, I started the weekend, podcast an hour early. I just got out of control. Well, I may have to do that again on Saturday because there's an event with the Young Democrats, and they're having a national meeting that I've been invited to speak at, and I'm really excited about it. So just keep your ears open for that. I also have not heard from Timothy because I know some of you are asking about that. I honestly, to be fair, I didn't track him down today. I had other things that I was dealing with. So anyway, I think we probably need to get to our numbers like we always do. Let's have a look. Here is we have definitely hit 220,873 total deaths. Number one in the world, 843 deaths yesterday. And this continues to be a tragedy. It's the same thing. I'm a bit of a broken record about it. Texas had a really bad day yesterday, almost 6,000 new cases. I don't know that I grabbed anything from Kentucky. Kentucky had, I believe, 12 new deaths. Governor Andy Beshear keeps doing a great job, and it's a job, honestly, that he should not have been handed. So, the idea that President Trump decided that it wasn't his responsibility, it's just amazing to me. Well, we'll complain about that later. Let's have a look at this. This is daily COVID-19 cases. We're definitely climbing up into that third wave, and it's just terrible. Well, I've got something interesting for you. A little bit of lighthearted stuff for you to look at. It says, flies lead the way to a greener future. By the way, this is at the Financial Times, but you have to pay money to see the Financial Times. So I found this at Naked Capitalism, the old standbys. Anyway, flies lead the way to a greener future. For millions of years, the humble fly has unwittingly held the secret to two of the modern world's most pressing problems: how to produce less waste and more protein. With astonishing efficiency, flies convert organic waste into fast-growing, protein-rich larvae, which are happily gobbled up by chickens, fish, and pigs. Humans are finally catching up with the trend and are pouring money into the construction of vast insect farms to industrialize this age-old natural not national. Why did I go? I think I went to Mike Pence's fly. Sorry. And sell the output to farmers. This shift towards more sustainable sources of protein and growing investment in several other sectors such as plant-based meats. Say that fast. Plant-based meats. Say that 10 times fast. Robotics and nanotechnology has been hailed as the second agricultural revolution. Wow. We're going to have an extra 1 billion, additional 1 billion people on the planet by 2030, and we're going to have planetary catastrophic climate change if we don't do the right thing. So this actually sounds like good news. Better fly farms than plagues of locusts, says Naked Capitalism. My brain just went away. I've shown you what I have to deal with here. It's just crazy. Well, let's look at some other things. There's another very interesting story. Rudy Giuliani, I don't know if you all have heard this. October surprise. Of course, we knew there was going to be an October surprise, and this one appears to be the idea that they finally gotten a hold of Hunter Biden's emails proving that he was colluding with who was it? Colluding with the Burisma officials in Ukraine. So that story has been the top story on Memorandum. Hi, Gina. Hi, Lisa. Lisa Holton's here. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Gina. Everybody, please do me a favor and share. Listen to that lovely sound. Anyway, now this story that the New York Post has put out has been breathlessly shared. We've got it, the smoking gun, you know. Well, there's a little bit of a problem with the story. Apparently, it's Rudy Giuliani somehow got a hold of these so-called this Ukrainian dirt. Emails or images or what purport to be emails between Hunter Biden and Burisma officials. The conservative New York Post has a credulous account of how Rudy came across these emails. The Post claims somebody brought the computer to a repair shop in Delaware, but then never bothered to pay for the repair. So the shop owner saw that the computer had a sticker for the Beau Biden Foundation, but instead of returning the computer to the Biden family, he made a copy of the hard drive, because that's what you would do. And then you give it to Rudy Giuliani's lawyer before turning it over to the FBI. So he made a copy of it, gave it to Rudy, then gave the computer to the FBI, I guess. This makes sense. Before we consider how plausible that story is, the substance is worth briefly addressing. The emails, if they're legitimate, show that once again Hunter Biden was trying to gain influence for Burisma, the Ukrainian energy firm that hired him, in an obvious ploy to gain an entry into Joe Biden's inner circle. That's the idea. Now, but what about this whole story of it showing up in a Delaware computer shop? The best thing you can say is that this account is not physically impossible. It's not impossible. And it doesn't violate any laws of nature. So it's possible, but it's not very plausible. To begin with, if you were a computer repair shop in Delaware and you had a Biden-owned computer that you'd repaired but hadn't been paid for, why would your first step be to reach out to Rudy Giuliani's attorney? Why wouldn't you go to the Bidens, who are fairly well known, probably pretty easy to find in Delaware to get paid? And why would the FBI even be allowed to investigate this computer without a search warrant? By the way, the author of the Post stories on the stolen Hunter Biden emails, Emma Jo Morris, is a former Hannity segment producer booker who has written a total of 3 articles, all of them covering the Biden story, and they were all published today. If Giuliani is, obfuscating about how he came across these emails, Morris does not seem to be the reporter who's most likely to crack open his cover story. So, friendly source. Well, it's just about time to call MacLean Lessenberry, and I need to tell you a little bit about her. Hi, Cheryl. Oh, look at everybody who's here. John Alma is here. John Alma saved the day, by the way. Yesterday found me a friend of hers that could do a notary. There's so much going on that my brain is split. Anyway, let me tell you about MacLean Lessenberry before I call her. She put on an event in Barren County for Democrats. And MacLean is a young woman. I believe she's graduated from undergraduate And I'll ask her about this, but she is involved with the Democratic Party in Barren County, and to my mind, she's one of these people that will give you hope for the future of not only the Democratic Party, not only Barren County, but the state of Kentucky and the state of our nation. So let's call MacLean. I've been trying to get her to be here with us forever, so I'm really pleased. Let's see if she can pick up the phone.
Hello.
MacLean, it's Hank Linderman.
Hello, how are you?
That's a dangerous question. How are you doing
Especially
through
when you're live on Facebook.
Are you looking at yourself on Facebook?
I'm not looking at myself on Facebook.
Okay. Well, because your picture was up for the opening of our show today. And I don't know if you've had a chance to see it, but we call it Getting Angry. And the idea is that, yes, we are all getting angry, but that doesn't mean we're going to act like damn fools. We're going to use our anger to focus our determination and our courage to do the right thing. So welcome to Getting Angry.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
I think the first time I met you, we've met before and we've talked before. You're a very busy human being, so it's been difficult to get a hold of you at times. But I think I met you at your event that you did for candidates running for governor in early 2019. And I want to say January or February. Does that sound right?
It was spring sometime. But yes, it was before the primary.
Right, and it was before the primary. It was a little chilly, as I recall, and I signed up to come to this event, and you and I didn't know each other, and you were relentless with the texting. Make sure you show up in time, and we've got a bar, and you had all the details. I was just one of the people coming, and you were like, make sure you make it, make sure you're on time. We need a great turnout. I was so impressed.
Well, thank you. That was a good event. It turned out well.
Well, by the way, I'm going to put your picture up so that, I pushed the wrong button. There you are. So everybody's now able to look at you. Everybody is saying hi to you, which is wonderful. Anyway, at that event, I met your mom and your younger sister, I believe, who's a musician. Mm-hmm. And your mom told me a story that I believe once you finished your undergraduate degree, you had some options to go elsewhere, and you decided to come back to Barren County. Is that what happened?
Yes. So I went to university out of state, came back to Kentucky to do my master's, and then after that, had a few options and decided to come home.
Why did you decide to come home? We're starting to lose you. You might be in a bad spot. Welcome to Kentucky.
Got to go elsewhere, and so when I came home, I really always appreciated it. And I think a lot of people don't have that experience. They're almost feel that they're stuck here and don't have a way to get out. So once they want to leave, they don't want to come back. And I think too, a lot of people that are younger just take it for what it is, that places in southern Kentucky are in this stuck in the mud mindset, and it's never going to change. And I kind of hate that, because I feel like we are able to change it, but that means, you can't just sit there and bitch about it. You've got to come home, get involved, and put the time in and the work in to make it what you want it to be. So I wanted to be part of that. And I felt like Glasgow had potential to be back to the amazing place it was historically, and we'd just fallen off the tracks, and we needed young energy for that to be able to happen.
Well, that is certainly the case. And for those who don't live in Kentucky, one of the things we run into is that young people, even if they graduate from a local university, Western Kentucky University is in the 2nd District. It's the second largest university in the state behind UK. And people get their degrees, and there's not enough opportunity for them, so they end up having to leave. So, and you see this in several in several fields. In agriculture, for example, we have really made it so difficult to earn a living as a farmer that family farms are having trouble convincing their kids to stay and continue the family tradition.
Right.
Now, Barren County is, I believe, the #1 ag county in the 2nd District. So agriculture is a big deal in Barren County.
Yeah, and we are one of the most, over and over again every year, one of the top ag counties in Kentucky. On the other hand, though, we are also one of the poorest counties in Kentucky.
Right.
So
Kentucky has, unfortunately, way too many poor counties, and the 2nd District has several. It is definitely a very difficult thing, and that's one of the things that you and I haven't really talked about. This, I sent you a text wondering if you would talk about this basic idea. Let me print it and let me put it out there to you, and then see where you go with it. You know, my belief is that the future for the Democratic Party lies in districts like the 2nd District, rural districts, that if Democrats will once again be willing to be the party that looks out for working people, the party that will keep the big banks and Wall Street in line, then they've got a chance of coming back. That we have Donald Trump because Democrats weren't here in the 2nd District in 2016. I'm curious what you think about that.
I definitely agree with that. I think a lot needs to happen in the political landscape for Kentucky for Democrats in rural areas to thrive. And I think a lot of change is going to have to happen for that to occur.
I think you're absolutely right. And in fact, I don't know if you've seen it, but I ran in 2018, and I was, recognized then that we needed a whole list of things, like we have to fix healthcare, and we need rural broadband, and we need to pay people more, people who work more money, and we need to deal with people that are in declining industries like coal and so on. And I put it all together into one piece called The Contract for Rural and Working America. And I don't know if you've had a chance to look at that, but the idea is that we want to get the rest of the country to start to pay attention to what is going on in rural America. We are not all farmers necessarily, even in rural districts. I think farms represent maybe 15% of the employment in a rural district. A lot of people are. What other jobs do people have in Barren County that you're aware of?
Ag is huge, healthcare is huge, and education is huge. Those are the big three.
Yeah. Now, are you a member of the Barren County Democratic Party?
Yes, I am on our executive committee here. And we were really big back in the day, like before my time, even though I'm saying before my time, we were big. And some of the key players kind of, either kind of aged out of being able to do things or just got uninvolved, and the party kind of died. And then actually after Trump got elected, literally the same week, a couple days after, we started a Facebook group, and just everyone, it started small. We started adding all the Democrats we knew, and now we have a party again. So we completely reformed.
I noticed that because, and there's a funny thing, the counties are very, very separate. And even though you're very close to Bowling Green, the flavor of Barren County is completely different from Warren County, even though you guys are 15 minutes apart.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think you know what I'm talking about. And I think that's one of the wonderful things about Kentucky, but it also makes it difficult to organize across those counties. And that's, of course, one of the goals I have running for federal office, is trying to figure out ways to get you, for example, introduced to people up in Davis County and up in Hardin County and likewise, that we somehow need to find a way to think of ourselves as not so much 21 small to medium-sized things, but more like one big thing. And so, but I have to applaud you. Your group has been very, very active. Now, next year is a big organizing year for the whole state, for all of the Democrats. I want to say this carefully because I don't want to give the impression that the things we're talking about, we still are 100% behind our candidates. We're going to talk about potential changes that the party needs to make, but we don't want to discourage anyone from voting this year. It is critical that you go out and vote. I'm assuming you agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I agree. I already voted.
You did. I was going to ask if you had already voted. Did you vote for me?
Yes, of course I voted for you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I feel much better. Good. Well, I think there are changes that the Democratic Party needs to make going forward, and any criticisms that I have are shared with love, not with anger. Do you have any thoughts about that? What changes does the Democratic Party need to make here in the 2nd District as far as you're concerned?
Sure. I 100% agree with you on communication and being able to organize across county lines, and even for the state party across district lines. I think that's really been hard, and I think, too, communication is obviously key, but that rural distance makes it really difficult to meet people. It's just a completely different landscape than any of our urban areas in the state. And I think as far as the state party goes, there's so much potential in rural Kentucky for Democrats to do amazing things and win really big. And I don't currently feel like that's being tapped into by the state party.
It's not yet. It's definitely not yet. Now, are you at all involved with the state party?
So I am in bits and pieces. I am a graduate and on the board of Emerge Kentucky, which, for people who don't know, is it's the Kentucky chapter of a national program that recruits and trains Democratic women to run for office. Everything from school board up to state office. Our lieutenant governor right now, Jacqueline Coleman, is a graduate of Emerge Kentucky. So that's a great resource, and they are involved with the state party. So from my role in that, I am, but I think even as someone who's very active, involved with state politics and our current Democratic Party locally, which I do, like you said, feel is very active, we still have a lot of issues with communication to the state. And that's just that divide, like we were saying, that it's just completely different for rural Kentucky versus urban Kentucky. I mean, and that has got to change for us to ever be able to prosper as a party here, in my opinion.
I absolutely agree. And I know that you'll be part of that solution going forward. In fact, I think I mentioned to you, I'm the new chair of a brand new group that advises the KDP, the Kentucky Democratic Party, called the Rural Council. And you're one of those people that I would love to have be involved with that group if you're willing to do it. And I'd also love to have you be involved in efforts going forward to organize the 2nd District. So I'm going to put you on the spot here. I got a call from Meade County. They're getting ready to do an event very soon, and they're looking for speakers, and I proposed you. So we don't have a date yet, but if you're willing to get in the car and show up to start to talk about helping connect the 2nd District, and I'll get it. I know that you're very, very busy because you're out taking signs out. What kind of things are you doing these days during the election?
Well, the signs is just my personal opportunity to get a bunch of signs, and we didn't have a headquarters yet. So, yep, I was driving all around Barren County, sticking them in people's yards. But we have done, and yes, I would love to speak at that event, by the way. You put me on the spot. But
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. I would love to speak. Thank you for asking me. That's amazing. They're doing something. But we've done things in the past. We've been really active with having a headquarters, having it fully staffed, registering tons of people to vote. And this year with COVID and just, I felt like everyone kind of got a late start. We didn't really know what the actual election season was going to look like from August to November. So we do finally have a headquarters, but before that, we were doing events to register people to vote, specifically to register felons to vote. And we had a lot of success with that. We had one event where we had a guy come up and say he'd never voted before, and he finished all of his time and parole and everything back in 1990. and he'd never voted before. And so we got him on the website to take the quiz to see if he was eligible. And whenever it came back that he was eligible, everyone cheered, and I thought he was going to cry, and then I thought I was going to cry. It's just been really, it's been really great doing those things. But we have done signs. We have done a lot of digital messaging, and we actually put a big billboard up on our main bypass, which is a lot of car traffic. So we did put a big RBG, wants you to go vote in lieu of flowers. And
in lieu of flowers, go out and vote? Is that what it said?
Yes, it was super badass. It was awesome. But
that's awesome.
Anyway, we've done stuff like that just to make sure that even though we can't do all these things like knock doors and do stuff like we normally would, that we just want it to be clear that there is a Democratic presence here.
Yes.
So that really has been our main goal the past few years, is building that messaging up, that presence, and making sure that people know if they're interested in Democratic politics and live in Barren County. We are a resource. We are here. We're actively recruiting new members for our group, and that's our main goal.
We need a picture of the in lieu of flowers sign, okay?
Oh, perfect.
Can you get that to us? Or if you get a chance, when you go back to look at this this episode of Getting Angry, maybe you can put it in the comments, and that would be just fantastic. Well, now we have a little game, and I didn't warn you about this at all. So look at how I'm putting you on the spot. We do a little game here called Name That Republican.
Oh, God.
So these are not easy. Okay, so don't feel bad. But would you be willing to try a few rounds of Name That Republican? I'll play you a quote from them in their voice, and you see if you can guess who it is.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Here's the first one.
Leaders and fighters for freedom and liberty and the American dream. The best is yet to come.
Yes, definitely remember that.
You know who it
I
is?
did not-
Do you remember
Yes,
her name?
Yes, Kimberly Guilfoyle.
Oh,
Did not
very, very
forget
good.
that.
Very
Did
good.
not forget that one.
Okay, so here's another one. This one's a little tricky, but here you go. You ready?
I'm ready.
Donald Trump is a delusional narcissist and an orange-faced windbag.
I don't know. I didn't recognize that voice today. I don't know who that was.
Well, that's a Kentuckian, and he
Who is
lives
that?
not far from you, and he's in the
Oh.
Senate.
Oh, Mr. Paul.
It
Didn't
is Mr.
recognize him.
It is Mr. Paul. It is indeed Mr. Paul. Well, let's see if I've got another. I have a couple of others.
This is fun. I loved it.
Yeah, let's stick with Kentuckians. Okay, here's a few more Kentucky Republicans. Here we go.
Okay, so it's not really science. So I think it's somewhat appropriate that somebody with a pseudoscience degree is here pushing pseudoscience in front of our committee today.
Matthew.
Yes, very good.
Yeah.
Very
Don't
good.
know his voice, but that sounded very on brand.
Now, there are some good Republicans, a little bit before your time, but here's a good Republican.
We have been compelled to create a permanent armaments industry of vast proportions.
Don't know. Couldn't
Well,
even really
that is
understand.
President Eisenhower. And I grew up, I was born in the 50s, so I remember President Eisenhower being the president. And he's one of the ones who warned about the dangers of the military-industrial complex. In fact, he coined that phrase. He was the first one to use that phrase. Here is President Eisenhower saying goodbye right as he was ready to leave office. So this is the day before he left office. And then we're going to play another Republican and see if you can guess. Here you go.
Now, on Friday noon, I am to become a private citizen. I am proud to do so. I look forward to it. Thank you, and good night.
So that's how President Eisenhower left the office of the presidency. Now, see if you can name this Republican.
Can you give a direct answer? You will accept the election?
I have to see. Look, I have to see. No, I'm not going to just say yes. I'm not going to say no. And I didn't last time either.
No, that's not how he's going to leave office.
I mean, I think you know who that is.
I got that one.
Yes, you got that one.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Okay, well, MacLean, thank you so much. It's really wonderful to introduce you to everybody that does this, and I hope you will come back. We're going to continue to do this after the election. I think this is a great way for us to let the world know about the 2nd District. You know, not a lot of people know the 2nd District is the home of the Everly Brothers. It's the home of the Corvette. It's the home of Mammoth Cave, of Fort Knox, of Bourbon, of Bluegrass. It's also Abraham Lincoln's birthplace. This is a spectacular district, and I'm really proud to be part of it, and I'm really inspired by your example out there in Glasgow, in Barren County. So thank you.
Well, thank you, and thank you for all of your work. This is, I mean, I love that you do this, and I think that shows how deeply you care, even if, you know, you're saying you're going to do it past the election no matter what, and we really appreciate that here in the 2nd District. And everyone that's tuning in, that's so awesome that you have such a big audience on this.
It's really wonderful, and more to come, So
absolutely.
All right. Well, MacLean, thanks so much, and please say hi to the gang. You had some folks from your gang posting comments about how wonderful you are, so that'll make you feel better.
Oh, thank you, friend, whoever you are.
All right.
Well, thank you so much, Hank, for having me.
All right. We'll do it again sometime. Thanks, MacLean.
Sounds good. Thanks. Bye.
Have a great day. Bye.
You too. Bye.
MacLean Lessenberry, really just a wonderful, inspiring, filled with energy, filled with devotion to her hometown, just really inspiring. Well, we got a little bit more I was going to show you. Let's have a look at this. These are the headlines at Memo Random. I want you to just get a look at, these are the stories, and this was pretty far down today. I love the White House cites herd immunity petition signed by fake experts, including Dr. Johnny Bananas. Wow. Story down at the bottom is very interesting. He's just so angry all the time. Trump is hemorrhaging support among suburban women. So that's plenty. I think that is definitely going on, and it's really important. Barbara has a message here in Virginia yesterday, last day of voter registration. Some construction workers accidentally cut a fiber optic cable, which caused the entire online system to go down. Good ending. The deadline to register has been extended until tomorrow. By the way, I didn't get a picture of it, but the Bulwark, remember the conservative website, very conservative, and I'm not conservative, but I appreciate these guys, said, did a little story about West Virginia. West Virginia was plus 47 for President Trump in 2016. They are down to plus 23. That does not mean that West Virginia is in play, but they speculated that providing we all go out and do our job, that this is going to be this is the potential of a landslide, and even 538 is thinking that. But folks, don't let up for a second. Please don't. Please don't. I got another modification of, this is kind of a little bit of fun. I don't know if any of you got to see Amy McGrath debate Mitch McConnell. Here's a picture of them. And, Mitch apparently did a lot of laughing. And so I got a bunch of laughter was sent to me, raw feed of just Mitch's laugh. And I was going to play some of these for you because as Amy was talking, Mitch was laughing rather than debater. So here's one of the laughs. Yeah, that one. I remember that one. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that was fun. Hope you understand that was all meant in fun. It is Halloween is coming up after all. That wasn't actually Mitch's laugh, but gave me some funnies. All right. Well, look, we are winding things down for today. What else is going on? Tomorrow, I have not reached out to Dr. Greg just because I just haven't. But perhaps Dr. Greg will be here tomorrow.
Dr. Adams, ask Dr. Greg.
I'll reach out to him right now and see if he's going to make it. And hopefully Timothy Schmidt will join us either tomorrow or Friday. And folks, get out there and vote. Get out and do what you need to do. Get out there and make a difference, okay? And I also want you to focus on the idea that it doesn't stop at the election. You got to stay involved after that. It gets easier. All the things we hate about politics are because not enough of us are involved. And the more of us that get involved and the more of us that are willing to work together, the better things will be in politics. We need some involvement from you. We need you to show up at your local Democratic Party and get involved and make friends and learn to work together, learn how to make a difference. As always, the easiest way to get involved in politics and really make a difference is to get out your checkbook and write a check. That's the easiest way to do it. We could use your help. We're at hank4ky.com. Contributions are very, very helpful. Anyway, here we go. It's time to say goodbye for today, but I'll be back tomorrow here at Getting Angry. And remember, just because you're getting angry, you don't get to be a damn fool. Focus on doing the right thing, getting your determination together and your courage. See you all later. Love you all.